This is exactly what I do to feel confident when I'm talking on camera. Confidence is not something that you have to be born with. I really believe it's a skill that you can learn, a practice skill in fact, that as you practice, you get better and better and better. So I want to share with you my own experience with becoming more confident when I'm talking to the camera. And I think it all started when I was in, I think the equivalent of high school, because in Nigeria it's primary school, but I had to do a poem, a science poem with my dad. And I remember practicing it and rehearsing and cramming it all. And then I went on the stage and I did my presentation, and I feel like I sort of blacked out because at the end people were like clapping for me, but I don't really recall what exactly I said or did with my hands that really impressed them. It was a competition. So I ended up getting one of the prizes, and I think that just really made me feel like, wow, so people celebrate people that know how to communicate. Okay, interesting. And I think that just stayed at the back of my mind as I grew up. And I also remember when I went to high school and I had to talk about why I wanted like a leadership position, because they had like student leadership positions. And I remember just again speaking from the heart and just expressing what I wanted, and also just being honest about what I wasn't good at and why they shouldn't put me in places that I wasn't good at. And again, people were impressed. I got one of the positions that I was looking for. Between then and now, I've gone through a lot of like, okay, let me try to record this video. And then I try to record it and I'm like, I don't like it. And then I show it to a friend and I also see that they don't necessarily like it as well. And so I just kept trying. I would record different videos. I would listen to other people that I liked, and I started taking note of what made me feel like I liked their style of communication. And eventually I just realized that just less preaching, less telling people what to do, and more sharing your own story. So I'm here trying to do that because I just want to connect with more people. I want to hear other people's stories. I've always been someone that wanted to travel, but as the years have gone by, I think I've realized that it's less about traveling and more about seeing the world. And the best way to see the world is through other people's stories, because everybody just experiences life differently. And you're probably wondering by now, like, I clicked on this video to learn how to be more confident. Trust me, it's all a part of it. The more I knew myself, the more I learned about what I wanted, the more I realized that I didn't need to search for it on the outside. It was inside me. Oh my God, that sounds so corny. The thing that I wanted to become was something that was already deposited inside of me by God. When God created me and put this desire inside of me to reach people through storytelling and encourage them to chase their dreams and all these different things, like, He also put in that communication piece. It's just that I was having a hard time accessing it and knowing how to use that tool that He had given me. And long story short, with practice, writing, talking to the camera, listening to the people that I like, I realized that confidence is something that you just learn by practicing and by taking feedback, reviewing your videos. Where did I make a mistake? So when I would show my videos to my partner, he would just tell me like, oh, I really like this part. And I noticed that the part that he liked, I was more relaxed. I was like, I wasn't thinking so hard about what I wanted to say. I was just like communicating. And sometimes I would think, oh, that is just too goofy. Like, I just think you should be more serious. He's like, no, like, you should show more of that. Like, more people deserve to see more of that. And I resisted that feedback in the beginning because I think our insecurities, like, when we are ourselves, we are worried sometimes about rejection. But if I come on here and I put on a performance and you don't like it, I don't know, it has nothing to do with me really. Because you don't like it, you don't like it. But if I'm myself and I put myself out there and someone is like, oh, I don't like that, that kind of hurts. So I think I was trying to protect myself a little bit there. But I think over time I just realized that feedback is just that. It's feedback. If someone likes it, they don't like it. It's not about you. People are just gonna like different things. Even if you gave everyone the best chocolate in the world, someone is gonna like, ugh, I don't like this. It's too chocolatey. So I just started thinking about like people's approvals, and I'm so grateful because I think that is something that God helped me to do, to just let go of like the fear of man. And then I also just leaned more into my why. I think sometimes confidence just comes from knowing that what you have to say needs to be said. And if it needs to be said, maybe you don't have to say it perfectly. Maybe it's okay that you keep trying to say it until you can say it properly. I understand that people don't give people a lot of grace sometimes on the internet, but you need to give yourself more grace. And that's what I did to myself. Like, I'm just learning. I'm learning this as if it's a new language, and I'm just gonna have to try. And if I don't like a video, I can take it down or I can leave it. Whatever. It doesn't matter, because I've never seen someone judge someone when they are far ahead of them. I've never seen it. People that talk about your video, or they think it's not good enough, or they send it to their group chats. Honestly, I've actually never experienced those things, but I hear people say it. But when people do those things and they do it from like a negative place with a malicious heart, I can 100% guarantee you that person is not a creator. That person is not great at public speaking. That person is not great at taking risks. That person is not great at doing something new. They're just in their little comfort zone. And whenever they see something that challenges them, especially from someone they know, it just triggers them. And their response to that is to laugh at the person, or to mock them, or to make negative comments. That behavior and that type of those comments, those words, they say more about them than the person that they're talking about. The third thing, which is much more practical, is stop showing up as if you are a pro athlete and start showing up at the level that you are. Oh, that sounds harsh, but think about it. Like, I feel like even pro athletes rehearse. If someone is so good at something, you could wake them up and be like, hey, show me that thing you do, and then they'll come on the, what is it called, the court or whatever the sport is, and they'll throw it and it would land, and everybody be like, oh my gosh, he's so good, she's so good. But when you're a beginner, you need to practice all the time. I need to prep yourself all the time so that you don't go and show up and you're not ready and then you discourage yourself. Discouragement is a loop. You do something that doesn't go so well, your brain tells you, you see, I told you not to try this thing because you're bad at it. And now we have evidence that you're bad at it. So there's no need for you to try this. So it goes from the thing that didn't work out to it becoming a reason for you to not try again. And the next time you try again, but you don't prep and you don't do well, it just counts as now we have double evidence, and eventually you're just gonna give up. And then you're gonna be like, I'm just the type of person that doesn't communicate well. But you're not. That's not who you are. It's not your identity. Let's look at how you had set up yourself for success or failure. So whenever it comes to doing my videos, I have a script. Right now, I have a script. I'm not using the script, but I do have it. Just in case my brain goes, what are we talking about today? And it just like forgets to help me out with the next sentence. I can go back, just look through it, see what it is that I was hoping to cover, and that would jog my memory and help me to come up with a few words. So have a script, even if you don't use it. Just have it in your back pocket, on your phone, in your tablet. Sometimes when you feel nervous, you just need to center yourself. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna say is when you're trying to say something, you kind of need to know who you're talking to, because if you go too broad and you're too general, you're not gonna resonate with anyone. And even as I'm saying this and posting this video, I don't even know if I'm gonna resonate with someone. But at least I've done the work to know that the person I'm talking to is someone that wants to show up on camera for whatever reason. But especially if they're a creator like myself and they just want to feel more confident expressing themselves on camera, this is the type of video that will encourage them and help them. So it's important to imagine who's gonna be receiving the message on the other side and what exactly their fears are. What is it that they do? Why do they need this? How is it impacting their lives? And how are you able to relate with them? Like maybe a story about how you guys could maybe even relate on some level at all. People would want to feel like they're not alone. They want to feel like they can connect to you and maybe try something that helped you to help themselves as well. And I would like to know your thoughts. What and how do you become more confident on camera? Have you tried anything? And has it worked for you? What is your story? I would love to hear your thoughts. Just leave it under this video.